Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and the other day I got a request to do a comparison between the Howard Leight Impact Sport electronic earmuffs and the Walker Razor electronic earmuffs. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't know what electronic earmuffs are, I'll give you a brief explanation. Basically, they're standard hearing protection earmuffs that have a microphone located on the exterior that amplifies sound to speakers located inside the ear cups. It is set to cut off at a certain decibel rating, so anything that could be harmful to your ears is not going to make it through to the speakers. So basically providing you standard hearing protection while at the same time amplifying ambient noise that is not going to be harmful to your ears. Okay, so on to the comparison. Now, if you were to take a look at both of these earmuffs on paper, they would look very, very similar, okay? There's really not that much difference if you were to take a look at the stats. Both have an 89 decibel rating, so anything above 89 decibels is going to be cut off by these earmuffs. They both have a speed rating of 0.02 seconds, so 2/100ths of a second. Anything that's above that 89 decibels, it's going to cut it off in that amount of time. So again, 2/100ths of a second is the reaction time of both of these earmuffs. Now, there is a slight difference when it comes to the decibel or the noise reduction rating. You'll see it as the NRR rating. The noise reduction rating on these are 22 decibels. On this one, it's a little bit better at 23 decibels. They both have external battery compartments. They both take AAAs. They both have external headphone jacks. This one actually on the Walker Razors has a rubber cover over the headphone jack. This one is exposed, so I do like the fact that the Walker Razor has a rubber cover over it. Now, the wind protection on the microphone for the Howard Leight Impact Sports is just a little bit better, where you're going to hear a little bit more wind and that ambient noise from the wind hitting this screen right here, because the screen on the Walker Razors is made of metal. So that's something to consider as well. They both have really nice soft ear cups. I believe that one is a little bit better than the other, and especially when you get your hands on both and you can feel it. The Walker Razors definitely take the edge as far as comfort goes, and that's because the ear cups on the Walker Razors are so much softer. If you ask me, they're much thicker, they're much softer, and they just feel better on your head. So you have kind of a thin, more plasticky style cup on the Howard Leight Impact Sports, and again, a softer, more rubberized plastic feel on the Razors. Now, again, on paper, they seem very similar, and they are very similar. It's just going to be some small differences that are going to make the change and might make the difference for you. Now, on the top here, they both have padded headbands. On the Howard Leight Impact Sport, they're a little bit harder, a little bit more rigid. They both, have the company logo on the top. On the Walker Razors, they're also kind of rigid, but it's a different material. It's a softer material. And again, on the Walker Razors, just like on the ear cups, there's a little bit more padding inside of the headband than there is on the Howard Leight. So I would say that comfort, if I was just to go with overall comfort, I'd have to give that to the Walker Razors. They just feel comfortable on your head, they feel comfortable on your ears, and if you're going to be wearing it for extended periods of time, maybe a training class or something like that, or you're out for hours with your buddies shooting, I would definitely go with the Walker Razors for comfort. Now, when it comes to durability, I would say that these two are just about equal, and I say just about only because the Howard Leight Impact Sports have the exposed 3.5mm headphone jack, whereas these ones right here have it nice and covered. So as far as any type of water, moisture, or anything like that getting inside and maybe corroding the internal components, it's going to be less likely on the Walker Razors. Now, I don't remember mine ever having anything that covered this, but I've had both of these for a while now. So if this comes with something now that covers it, go ahead and leave that in the comment section, because that's something I'd like to know as well. But the Walker Razors do have a really nice rubber cover that you can pull off right here, and it exposes the 3.5mm headphone jack. So as far as durability goes, I'm going to say that they're pretty much equal as far as that's concerned. Now, there is a little bit of a price difference, which is kind of interesting, because the Walker Razors come in at $39.99 on Amazon, and these come in at $49.99 on Amazon. I'm going to put a link to both down below so you guys can check them out. So there is a $10 price difference, and given the fact that, these are $50 and these are $40, that might mean something to some people. I don't know if I want to spend $50 when I can get something that is super comparable to, for $40, and in a lot of ways even better. So there is a price difference. Durability, again, is the same. Now, as far as functionality goes, functionality is pretty much identical as well. So we have our microphone level on the side right here, our speaker volume level on the side right here. On the Walker Razors, located right here, they basically both do the same thing. You rotate them down, you hear a little click, they turn off, and then you turn the volume up. I would have to give the edge on sound to the Walker Razors, where you get kind of a mono sound in the Howard Leight earmuffs. You get more of a dynamic sound, which I know is probably not a huge difference to some people, but if you're going to be plugging in, let's say like your cell phone, you're going to be plugging in some type of MP3 player or something like that, then you do get better sound out of the speakers in the Walker Razor. Again, that's just my opinion, but I feel like the dynamic sound that you get out of the Walker Razors is actually significantly better than what you would get out of the Howard Leight. So if you do plan on plugging these in and using them as headphones as well as hearing protection, then that might be something for you to consider as well. Now, I should also mention that both of these headsets are available in a multitude of colors. So if you don't like the OD green or if you don't like the black, you can go ahead and switch them out, and they're available in several different colors. I believe the Walker Razors are available in more color patterns than the Howard Lights, but again, I'm not 100% positive on that. Either way, if you don't like these colors, you can always choose different colors, or if you're shopping for your wife, your daughter, your sister, your brother, whatever, you could choose something different. So now let's go ahead and move on and talk about actual use, okay? Because that's the most important part. Obviously, on paper, you're talking about a 22 dB noise rating, you're talking about a 23 dB noise rating, but when you're actually wearing them, what's the difference? Well, there's a problem that I have, and I've always had, with the Howard Leight Impact Sports, and that has to do with the overall shape. So I have kind of a big head, my wife has kind of a small head, and we both have the exact same problem. On the bottom of the Howard Leight Impact Sports, they're kind of wide, and you have a very thin ear cup, okay? So a thin ear cup, and it's a little bit narrow in the center, and what I find is when I'm shooting a rifle, I will actually get a little bit of that shock sometimes when the ear cup sort of comes off. The Walker Razors, excuse me, the Walker Razors are angled at the bottom and kind of tapered at the bottom as well. Now, they're both tapered, but these are kind of angled to more of a point. So when I wear these on my ear, they tend to wrap around a little bit better. The actual ear cup on the inside is a little bit more oval and a little bit bigger, so I can actually fit my entire ear inside without just kind of, you know, pressing on my earlobe or the back of my ear or something like that. It feels like my entire ear goes inside of the ear cup, so I feel like I get better protection. But at the same time, shooting shotguns, shooting rifles and stuff like that, I haven't had a chance, or not a chance, but I haven't had an instance yet where I'm wearing the Walker Razors and that same thing happens, that happens with the Howard Leight Impact Sports. Now, if I had to go back and spend my money on just one of these I actually got from a Barrel and Blade Tactical Outfitters monthly subscription box, but if I had to go back and I had to spend my money on just one of these, I would have to go with the Walker Razors. I mean, they are $10 less. You get 1 extra decibel of noise reduction rating, better speakers if you ask me. They're significantly more comfortable and less risk of exposure to the extreme sound because of the overall shape of the ear cup on the inside and the shape down here. So I would have to give it to the Walker Razors. Even though these are great hearing protection and definitely something that I wouldn't, you know, toss aside. A lot of people use these and they're very happy with them. Based on my opinion and my opinion alone, I would have to say that the Walker Razors definitely get the edge on this one. So definitely worth checking out. Again, I'll put links in the description box to both of these, so if you guys are interested in taking a look at them yourselves, you can do that. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.